I've always wanted to take this picture, a car that I own in front of like a Lawson. Going for my first ever drift in Japan in an 86 at Bihoku. Thank you, Rob.
You're welcome.
Thanks for giving me the best Monday I think I've ever had in my life. She's meant to throw her up on Dundee. Japanese Ralph. Just a shed dog that's surrounded by 86s. It's hilarious. Went to Hamishins then, collected the 86. We'd installed the new alternator, gave the car a quick once over, brought the car then to Rob's work because we needed to use the 2-car carrier. We had to get fuel for the 86. It was spluttering and I was really worried. The car wasn't running properly. The 86 I bought was sitting up since 2011. My heart was broken. Like, this whole trip was supposed to be leading up to this 86 and it wasn't working. So we just kept driving around and it kept spluttering, driving through a residential area. We ended up driving up to this hill and we ran out of fuel at the top of the hill in traffic and freewheeled the car all the way down to a petrol station. Fully electric.
Come on guys, hurry up. Off the brakes, boys. Don't make me lose it.
Oh man, hilarious. Oh, for fuck's sake. Super fucking dodgy. Put fuel in the car and then it kind of started working again. The iconic imagery is to just park your car outside the convenience store and take a picture of it. I've always wanted to take this picture of the car, a car that I own in front of like a Lawson or a 7-Eleven in Japan. Rough and ready, finally get to do it. This is the fucking, what a cool feeling. Oh yeah, so sad, but I love it. That was another bucket list item that I wanted to do. It just looked amazing. So rough, like it's all covered in glitter, big wheels on the front, drag wing. Then he was like, let's go to the Family Mart, fuck it. So then we drove down to the Family Mart and he's like, let's go to the 7-Eleven, we're going to get all the convenience stores. So we went to every convenience store, got the pictures. Parked the car transporter, loaded the cars up onto it. Like just the whole time I was in disbelief because I couldn't believe that we were actually going to bring this car to track. That Sunday then we had it all ready, parked the car then back at his works, yard, and that night I couldn't really sleep because the next day we were going to Bihoku. Probably one of the most dangerous tracks in Japan, if you're familiar with Bihoku. Like the amount of cars that have crashed into the bank and flipped onto their roof is like, it's quite high. It's like mayhem. There's no real margin for error really at Bihoku. If you go off one way, you're into a bank, and if you go into the other way, like you're into a wall. For the record, I've never drifted an 86 in my life until this point. I just got a couple of track days in the E36 that we had at the time, which is a completely different car. 86s are underpowered. This had like grippy Shibata tires. Bihoku was really, really intimidating, straight into the deep end. The first Japanese video I'd ever seen as a teen was one of the rounds of D1 in Bihoku. To go there and drive there was like, I don't know, I don't really have many words. to see your car on a 2-car carrier with another 86. It's like, that's mine. You know, you save those pictures on the internet when you see 2 badass 86s on a like a fucking 2-car carrier truck, but I'm trying to pinch myself and play cool. Bihoku is actually up on the top of a mountain. It's mental, you would never think. So the climb up was just like real nerve-wracking because it's just like tension building up. And yeah, oh my God, like we rocked in, I was completely shitting myself. Took 2 nervous poos in the toilet, had to just gather myself, very nervous. Rob was like, you'll be all right, who gives a fuck? But like, I'd never ever driven at a proper narrow kind of sketchy track or anything. Like, my only driving experience was at like Mondello in Ireland in the E36, which is powerful, like, and I had a good hydraulic handbrake, which I'd gotten used to, which was a shame because Rob had just informed me that there's no handbrake in the 86. I was like, all right. He's like, so if you want to initiate, you're just going to have to go as fast as you can and clutch into the corner. Great, had to learn how to do that. So thankfully Bihoku is 2 tracks. There's a kind of a grip track which is off to the right, which isn't as popular as the main track. That closed at 12, so we got an early session in there. Going for my first ever drift in Japan in an 86 at Bihoku. I'm absolutely fucking shit myself. Rob's already down there waiting on me. I just went for a nervous piss, and yeah, this is it. Absolutely couldn't get the hang of it at all because no handbrake. You're so used to pulling the handbrake, initiating or whatever. This was literally just drive the underpowered car as fast as you can and clutch into the corner. Very scary, really. It took me a little while to get the hang of that, but I started just like driving out of bends and clutch kicking. Eventually kind of figured it out, but still the Shibata tires are really, really grippy, and they put them all around on the car. So like basically semi-slicks in a 127 horsepower like shitbox that hadn't been on the road since 2011. Hard in an 86, man.
It's different.
It's just, after getting so used to fucking initiating with a handbrake,
bad habits.
I know, but sure, that's all I have. Like, especially those bends, like having absolutely no handbrake whatsoever and trying to initiate is fucking the weirdest thing in the world.
Did you do like?
Yeah, because I kind of had it in the Beamer, and then I just started getting really comfortable at pulling the handbrake down shit. So it's really weird. Like, some of the bends are perfect, but then like coming down there and going like, okay, I need to just throw the car into the bend.
The shit-eating grin on your face.
I can't stop smiling, sure.
Amazing.
I'm like a fucking child. It's as intimidating as it is exciting. The Bihoku, the cars, the whole thing is, I'm overwhelmed is the only answer. And I'm trying to be like, oh, I'll learn how to drift in the middle of this in an 86. I'm getting fucked straight to deep end, really.
Yep. The only way to learn.
Couldn't be any harder, like, couldn't be any more.
Deeper, dude.
The only shortcut is it has a supercharger. No, it's fun, but scary. That track closed at 12, straight up to the main track. Great. Tried to play it cool, but Rob knew I was completely like, I was fucking shitting myself. He was like, you'll be fine. Just go out, drive. Started doing a couple of grip laps, started kind of figuring it out, started getting a bit braver, started clutching, spinning out, so much spinning out, so much frustration. I probably should have done some 86 driving somewhere else. Like, to go to Japan and hype all this up for yourself and get fucked into like a really, really dangerous fast track in a really, really underpowered car that you've never driven in your life. Got a couple of rings in actually just for the joke on the track, which was hilarious because, you know, obviously everyone would ask why I didn't do any rings in the 86. Yeah, it's weird.
What a car to drift the first time in Japan, you know what I mean? Like,
The day was me fighting the car, but I eventually it started clicking eventually, and I started like getting the hang of it. I didn't do any amazing entries, but it was pretty epic, just tearing down the main straight, drifting the back then of Bihoku. Tried to record it on my GoPro, too nervous, didn't really get any footage on the GoPro. Thankfully, Alex came along that day with another friend that I made in Canada, Garrett. He's a super cool guy. Garrett climbed up on the side of the hill and he filmed loads of clips for me, which I'm so grateful for. Otherwise, I don't think I'd have any footage of this. Started to click towards the end, started linking the track. Best experience ever, linked most of the bends, and I can honestly say I've wanted an 86 for what, like nearly 20 years. So like they say, like, don't meet your heroes, but to finally drive and drift an 86 in Japan at Bihoku after like 20 years of wanting to have an 86. It was, I'd say, the best experience of my entire life.
I'm
too excited.
Yeah. Dude, that was such a good thing.
I wonder if I should take the stones off the track.
I just don't know what the rules are about getting all your
We just took a breather, had lunch. It was Rob's birthday actually, so it was a really nice experience for him. And Alex was nice enough, what a legend. Got him a little cake, surprised him with the cake. It was lovely. Look at this. So in the madness of trying to drift, taking Bihoku, all this crap, we're gonna celebrate Rob's birthday. He took the day off to come and hang out with us, hang out with me, show me how to drift, bring the car down. Without him, this trip would not be what it is. So instead of me giving him a cake, Alex has thought about it. So Rob went down to get fuel for the 86 because it was starting to splutter, and I was kind of worried about that. But when he came back, then we surprised Rob with a little cake. What a beautiful experience. It's so cool that, like, I made friends with these guys. Here we are in like the fucking middle of nowhere in Japan at this track, and we're all buzzing for some lad's birthday while we are surrounded by 86s going driving. Like, what a beautiful experience. This is nice. Rob, come here, it's your birthday. Oh. We got you cake. Oi. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. It's too windy. Too windy. Hey! Fucking Alex got that for you, man. He was thinking. Yeah. Good day. It's a good way to spend your birthday for the day, so. The weather was beaming. It was like a lovely summer's day. Such a lovely experience. So we took a bit of a breather and went back out on track. Unfortunately then the car started spluttering again like it was the day before. The car is spluttering. She's down on power. Whatever power it has. Roadside repair, Alex. Fuck always, man. So we're doing laps. It's breaking up when it gets warm. I'm still having the best Monday of my life. Just 86 misery. It got fixed. It was great for about 5 laps. Then it heated up. Then it started breaking up. And now we're back. Some nice skies down there with a pretty badass S2000. Helped us out. Some heated. It was really annoying because I was starting to get the hang of driving the car, starting to drift it, but look, going from being in quarantine to the whole trip being ruined, and that was playing in the back of my head the whole way on this visit. Like, everywhere we went on the journey after the quarantine weekend, all I was thinking about was the 86. Got the drift, an 86 at Bihoku with the lads. What a way to kind of end the trip. Come to Japan, want to fucking get close to the thing that inspires you, and then you get a little too close and then you don't really know how to react. Drifted this all day. Somehow it's been sitting up for like 12 years and it still worked. The fuel tank is shit, so it was spluttering, but I got some skids. This has been a very overwhelming experience. and probably the best Monday I've ever had in my entire life. So I don't know what to say. Look how cool this thing is. that's all. 2 cool 86s. Fucking the most relaxed track I've ever been to in my life. First track I ever saw back in the day on the internet. It's nice to bust my 86 drift cherry here. I don't know. Hope you enjoyed the video. Hope you enjoyed all this shite that happened in Japan. Excellent. I'll say it now, and I never said it at the time, but the whole trip was kind of spoiled for me the whole time. I was just playing it cool, because obviously the gigantic elephant in the room was this 86 that I was financially invested into. So like, even though we were visiting all these other places and having a nice time, that was the massive elephant just annoying me. Like, are we going to get to drive the 86? What'll happen? Will it work? The alternator, everything. So the fact that it all came together at the end was beautiful. Somehow I ticked off probably the biggest bucket list item I've ever wanted to do in my life, aside from building an 86, which is go to Japan, buy an 86, drive it at one of my favorite tracks, probably my favorite track, drift it, hang out with some cool people, and just like have that as an experience. And this was that trip for me. It was very sad that like Flip and Josh couldn't be there for it. Like, you know, I really wish they were, but like it leaves more food on the table for another adventure like that. I've spent so many years documenting drifting and like documenting stuff, and it's always me behind the camera, and like we're never actually taking part in the culture. So to actually go to Japan this time and be a part of something for once instead of being behind the lens was an incredible experience.
Very good. A lot of fun.
Thank you, Rob.
You're welcome.
Thanks for giving me the best Monday I think I've ever had in my life. So.
Nice, man.
As corny as that sounds.
Glad to hear it.
Fucking just, yeah, cheers, man. Fucking just surreal. I feel like on each of the trips we've gone to Japan, we've done all the things we wanted to do. Like Japan in a van was like just trying to see as much as possible and consume as much as possible. But I felt for this trip, like I would never outdo Japan in a van. That's probably the best trip I will ever do in my entire life. It was the best experience. Like, I won't say that it peaked there, but like the next time I wanted to go back, I wanted to do the next thing. You're never going to top, like, you know, you watch back that footage, it's never going to be topped. Like, we're never going to, you know, in my opinion, it's never going to happen like that ever again. So for this adventure, I wanted to go and drive a car and buy a car, which is another thing, you know, so ticking that stuff off the list. I don't know, what can I say? Like, I mean, I've kind of scratched everything I've ever wanted to do over there now. And like, you know, I'm nearly getting emotional thinking about it. For me, that was a win. Look, someone else will watch this and think like, oh, you know, what a waste or whatever, or maybe not, but I got to drift my dream car at one of my dream tracks with my mates on a lovely sunny Monday. That to me is heaven. That's like paradise. And I go back to that memory time and time again and just go, that was one of the best days of my life. That evening then, we're driving back, the sun was setting, pulled in to grab some food, just you see the 2-car carrier, like the cars on it, like I was just like trying to pinch myself because I was like, oh, I'm gonna wake up now any minute. This culture has given me so much. My whole life kind of revolves around it now. Like I've gotten so much from this country, and for it to give back as much each time we go and scratch the itch is just phenomenal.
I don't know if I said it the last time, but yeah, like I get a lot of people that always come up to me, ask me advice on Japan and going to Japan. Yeah, just if you are thinking about going, just book it.
We're all interested in this culture, and essentially the stuff I'm interested in with my friends was like a small window that kind of happened, and now we're kind of living on the tail end of it, and now it's kind of slowly in decline. There's people that are still holding on to it and keeping it alive, which is nice. But for the most part, the entire car culture is shrinking. I guess what I'd like to say to people to take away from this is, go and try do the things you want to do and see countries like Japan. I mean, I know so many people that love the culture, love Japanese cars and that, but like they'll never go there, and it kind of makes me sad a little bit. I would love for them to taste the thing that they've gotten so much from over the years. And for anyone watching this, I just want to say this was another incredible trip. I got to actually take part in the culture that I'm really interested in, and I would love for anyone that watches this and gets inspired by it to please book a trip and go and see these places. I would seriously recommend trying to figure out a way to get your mates together, do something like Japan in a van, or maybe Japan with a plan if you have money. But please, as Japanese or just car enthusiasts, go and enjoy and appreciate this culture. because it's just a flash in the pan, but this is literally just going to be a small time in history, and then someday it won't be there anymore. Like I said in the last video, I don't want to repeat myself with the last series, but if idiots like us can make stuff like that happen, there's absolutely no reason why you can't do it too. So thank you for watching this journey, and yeah, I hope you appreciated this little crazy story. Goodbye, and see you next time.